everybody. So I'm Ozana, and I'm going to talk about my time in the Sacred Valley, Peru, which is where I am right now. And the Sacred Valley is about like 45 minutes from Cusco, which is the closest airport. And something just poked me. So basically, I'm just going to riff today and talk about life here and things to think about if you're wanting to come to the Sacred Valley. Um, so it's definitely a place for people that are curious or on the spiritual path, um, whatever that is. And the Sacred Valley, which means, like in Spanish it's el Valle Sagrado. I mean, it's this powerful energy spot on the planet because there are these apus everywhere. I mean, it is incredible. And what apu means is it's a Quechua word that means, I actually forgot what the exact translation of the word is, but basically they're seen, these mountains around here are seen as sacred. And the indigenous, the descendants of the Inca speak to them, commune with them like as deities, and they respond. And this is really like, this stuff I talk about is like really, I realize it can be challenging for like a Western mindset to like wrap around. It's like, how do I understand that? But anyway, we'll just do our best. That's why I have this YouTube channel. So anyways, so a lot of the people that come here are looking for medicine, like medicine culture. They're looking for either Huachuma, which is San Pedro, which is the mescaline cactus, which is legal here. They've been using it for way before the Spanish ever came as a tool for healing. They're looking for ayahuasca. Coca leaves are chewed here, which is, I mean, when people think of coca, they probably think of the illegal thing. But here it's a leaf that's chewed. There's a whole, I want to do like a whole segment on that because it's really cool. And Peru is just magic. It's just, I mean, you could spend your whole freaking life exploring this country. It's just full of secrets. It's full of little huecos, little corners of secret, like mystery magic. Everywhere you go, you're like always learning something. So anyway, a lot of people that come are, especially to Pisac, which is a town probably closest to, one of the towns closest to Cusco. If you're not coming for the fast track kind of tourism, there's also a lot of tourism that comes through and on these, these buses, and they like look at the ruins and they're kind of on a, a thing, and they're fast and they want to go to Machu Picchu. When you're in Cusco, they're like, Machu Picchu? Want to go to Machu Picchu? So, and I want to talk about that. So it's medicine culture. It's like a really big one. And I want to talk about if you're coming here to do medicine. And there's probably going to be people that disagree with me on this. Oh well. But I hold pretty firmly and strongly that the mountains have a specific energy frequency that Huachuma, the cactus, grows throughout the Andes and in the drier regions like Arequipa. I mean, it grows all over the place, but its home is in the higher, the drier, sunny places. Ayahuasca, her home, because it's identified as a feminine, has a feminine essence. Her home is in the jungle. And there are a lot of people that come here. I don't think, what I've observed in my months of being here is I don't think that people quite understand. I'm talking like foreign folks coming from elsewhere understand that the traditions and cultures of the Sacred Valley in the mountains doesn't include ayahuasca. It's a jungle thing, and there are a lot of places. I'm probably going to take flack for saying this, but I'm here to tell my story and tell things how I see it. So there is a wave, there's a movement of people that see that ayahuasca, particularly ayahuasca, but really all the medicines, it's okay to use them. They're like these gifts from Pachamama. Pachamama means like the mother goddess of the earth. It's a Quechua word. That it's just okay to sing medicine songs in a ceremony, and love and light, and this more new agey way of approaching medicine. And what I want to say is that I think that there is a very big difference between sitting in a ceremony where you're not with a shaman that was such a weird word, but when you're not with a maestro or someone who has sat in the jungle. Traditional Shipibo, Canibo, almost any traditions here in South America, if you work with ayahuasca, you serve ayahuasca, you have gone long periods in the jungle where you've gone on these crazy diets, you have sat for years working with the medicine, and it's kind of the medicine's choice whether it deems you worthy kind of to work with it and to help others and serve others. But I think there's this kind of new agey idea, and I see it. I'm not going to name names, but there are plenty. There's many retreat centers and ayahuasca centers here, and I think that at least what I'm seeing and what I've seen is there's this idea that anyone with experience can serve it, and you can sing medicine songs. And what I mean by medicine song is like a song that's beautiful, something you would sing in a kirtan setting or around a campfire, or it has a musicality, and yes, it's healing. There's a very big difference between that and singing and having been gifted or knowing how to sing Icaros, which are different from medicine songs. Icaros are songs, I think they're it's like they are a form of spiritual technology gifted to a maestro or a person who has dieted with certain plants. That plant, again, this is hard to understand if you're coming from a Western mindset. What is this? Bear with me. They've been gifted this frequency to heal, and it does something very different. The purpose, the functionality, the way that it's gifted. These are like ancient secret technologies that aren't just given to anyone. Not anyone can sing them. And if anyone who's ever sat in a ceremony, you know what I'm talking about. It really does. They really do help heal. They're like technology. They're very different. So, there's basically, what do I want to say here? I want to say that I think if you're coming here, take Wachuma. There's a bunch of, I think that they're really good Wachumeros. I've sat with some. you're in the mountains. This is Huachuma's home. San Pedro, right? San Pedro is the name that the Spaniards, when they came, gave to the cactus. And, you know, I would say Huachuma is a little bit less, I don't want to say less, I don't know, it seems to me that there is a lesson plan when you come here. There's a lesson plan in every area on the earth, and Huachuma really helps. It helps you follow that lesson. Like if you come here, get ready to learn, because it is an intense place. This place is like school, and I think it helps you. I'm not saying ayahuasca can't help you. I'm not saying people haven't been healed. I am not saying don't do it at all here, but really be careful where you go. I think particularly as like Western-minded folk, we don't really understand. We don't come from a culture that has spent, or that we haven't grown up in a culture, say in a tribe in the jungle, that understands, and we spent our entire lives like learning about understanding and discerning and understanding like what the astral realm is, what negative or black energy or dark energy is. These are things that we probably just don't know about, don't know exist, have willful ignorance about, don't want to know about. And, maybe we were raised a certain way, and to us that just doesn't exist. But like, these medicines, ayahuasca in the jungle particularly, let's talk about ayahuasca for a minute here. Okay, so there is proof that ayahuasca use goes back as far as, 4,000 years ago, probably much longer, but that's just what there's a record of, right? And if people have been doing it in a certain way for that long, and it's survived, it behooves you to follow in those footsteps and to understand what they're talking about. To come in with your mentality of, oh, well, I just don't believe in that, or I don't believe that, like, I don't know, bad things can happen, or dark energies can penetrate my psyche in a vulnerable state during a ceremony. It's a kind of a form of, it's kind of arrogant. It's like saying, I'm going to come in with all of my conditioning, my beliefs, into this tradition, and I'm just not going to listen to anything that they've been doing for, 4+ millennia. I think you really need to listen to what the people are saying, from where the tradition comes. Listen to what they're saying. And you do need to be careful. Just because you yourself can't see something, just because you yourself don't understand something with your 5 senses yet, doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it doesn't deserve attention and respect. So, I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of this kind of, well, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that, I don't know, harm can come. I just believe in love and light. Yeah, love and light, great. Love and light, more love. The world needs more singing. We should be singing all the time, medicine songs everywhere. As we walk to the market, love and light, hold somebody in love and light. Yes. And be discerning. And be aware. And be humble enough to know that you don't know everything. You'll never know everything. So I really recommend, if you're going to do ayahuasca, if you're going to do it in the sacred, like you're just going to do it in the Sacred Valley, find people who have gone to that person or center, ask about their experience, talk to the leader, ask them their opinion on energy protection, what experiences they've had, who did they learn from. You know, it's like the bad experiences that I've heard about are people that went to places where the shaman is unprepared or has no connection to a lineage, hasn't been taught by anyone. They're inexperienced. You know, make sure that they're not packed to the gills with people. You really need you need the ability to have one-on-one attention. I think that 30 people this is my opinion, it's a lot of people. It's too much. I don't know, maybe if you're really gifted, but it's, you know, you're really handing your mental, you know, physical, energetic, spiritual sovereignty. You're handing this over and entrusting this to somebody during a ceremony, during your most vulnerable you'll be. You know, you really need to be able to trust them and trust that they can not only keep the container really sealed energetically from just anything coming in, you know. And I think people are like, well, I don't really believe, you know, I believe I'm protected. Okay. You know, but if you go into the jungle where they've been practicing this for millennia, they have a whole protocol and way of addressing and working with and protecting and creating containers, and it's like paramount. It's like extremely important. Maybe you should pay attention. Maybe we should listen to them. So really do your research. How many people are there? Is there a lineage? You know, like ask a lot of questions. And better yet, you know, try, I would say, jungle and ask around and get word of mouth. It really is, it is challenging to find a practitioner, a center, a teacher, a shaman. It is, because it's a word of mouth. I think the way to do it is by word of mouth. It's hard. It is hard to really assess. I mean, it's not like there are like, I don't know, it's not like a bulletin board, you know, with like names. Hey, this one's good, this one's bad. And everybody has a different opinion. There's probably going to be a bunch of people that disagree with me about this. You know, and you know, it's not like we can energy police each other either, you know. So for what it's worth, these are my thoughts. I'm sharing my opinions on the topic and what I've seen, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm curious if anybody has any thoughts or comments or opinions or experiences they want to share. Yeah, Sacred Valley. Peru is also fantastic. I suggest going to at least the mountains and the jungle. I'm probably going to do a bunch of videos on this because it's pretty fascinating. This is from the jungle, actually. This is called it's hard to say. Wairuru. And there are these little beads, these little seeds, and they string them on necklaces or make jewelry out of them. And it's pretty cool, actually. I like wearing it as sort of a protective amulet. And yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot about probably the more nuanced, more obscure topics, really off the beaten path. That's the kind of travel and exploring and adventuring I do. And I hope this video was helpful. I hope it's food for thought, you know, things to consider. And, you know, if you have more questions or if you disagree, it's all welcome. I'm just here walking the earth, having my little experience, sharing what I see. Maybe it'll help somebody. Okay, that's all for now.